Okay, Anthony, today we're going to look at the titles in Isaiah 9:6. So, Isaiah 9 is used a lot as a so called proof text
Hmm.
to prove that Jesus is God in the absolute sense of the word. So, let's look at the text quickly. This is a quick bite. So we know it very well. I think it's used a lot in during Christmas time for the virgin birth and so on. So it says, for
Hmm.
a child has been born to us, a son has been given to us. This is from the Net Bible, by the way. You can get the link there.
Yes.
It's a sort of
Hmm.
paraphrase translation. He shoulders
Yep.
responsibility and is called extraordinary strategist or wonderful
Yeah.
counselor, in notes here at the bottom, some translations. Mighty God, everlasting Father, Prince of
Hmm.
Peace. So we'll look at
Yep.
today, Anthony, if you can comment on the phrase here, translated mighty God.
Absolutely, but that's a rather poor translation. It happens normally. Net Bible does quite well, but his shoulders responsibility is very vague. The government will be upon his shoulders. He's going to be a world ruler. This is a messianic prophecy, immortalized by Handel's famous Messiah. You remember that since ancient times in England, they stood up when they did the Hallelujah chorus, and one of the famous choruses is all about this particular line of titles. So the government will be upon his shoulders. That's hopelessly vague in the NET Bible, that particular word. Okay, so what else do we have then? You want to just deal with El Gibor. He's said to be a divine hero. People really need to have access to the proper books to do proper Bible study. The standard lexicons used by all scholars, not that I'm claiming that scholars always are good believers, they're not, but they know a fair bit about biblical language. Brown, Driver, and Briggs, Lexicon of the Old Testament, you can get it online in Bible Works, part of that system. You really need that to make serious statements, authoritative statements about the meaning of words. So it's a divine hero reflecting the divine majesty. Of course, nobody thought there was a second God. That would be like saying, what sort of software did Paul have on his computer? It's just silly. Everybody who knows anything about history knows that Jews were Unitarian monotheists. They were Unitarians, not Unitarian Universalists in our modern perverted sense, but biblical Unitarians, unitary, non-Trinitarian monotheists. Everybody knows that, who has a modicum of historical understanding. So it's absolutely impossible for any Jew writing the Hebrew Bible, and we believe the Hebrew Bible, the law, prophets, and writings are inspired, along with the New Covenant scriptures. This is a description of a divine hero. Gibor is a mighty hero, a mighty person, a powerful man, and he has the qualities of God. I think it is the word El can be used of a man occasionally, very, very rarely, that's true. But El Gibor is mighty hero reflecting the divine majesty, and you'll find that in the Brown, Driver, and Briggs lexicon, page 42.
And just quickly, Anthony, I've seen many a commentator
Mm.
cite the following chapter, which is not
Mm.
known that well, I guess, as well as Isaiah 9. But
Right.
this is sort of sandwiched, um, Isaiah 10, between two very well-known messianic
Hmm.
prophecies,
Yes,
Isaiah 9 and
absolutely.
Isaiah 11.
Yes.
But here, they like to point to Isaiah 10:21 especially. So it
Hmm.
says, at that time, verse 20, those left in Israel, those who remain of the
Yes.
family of Jacob, will no longer rely on a foreign leader that abuses them. Instead, they will truly rely on the Lord. I'm guessing
Yes.
that's Adonai, the Holy One of Israel. I'm guessing that's God. A remnant will come back, a remnant of Jacob,
Yes.
to the El Gibor, or mighty God.
Yes.
Now,
Yes.
is this a reference to the Adonai, Holy One of Israel, or should we go back and apply it to the messianic figure of?
Well, it really doesn't matter, because whether you return to God or the Messiah, it's all the same thing. I see the note there in the translation, the referent of El Gibor is uncertain. I leave ambiguities alone. There are ambiguities in the Bible. It really doesn't amount to anything. My sense is that since El Gibor is never ever used of God the Father, it's more reasonable to take this, as you rightly said, sandwich in a messianic setting, where chapter 9 and chapter 11 deal with the Messiah. It's more reasonable, in the absence of any clear reference of El Gibor to the Father, to take this as Messiah. But it really wouldn't matter at all. They're returning to God.
It'll be one of those shared titles, as we call it,
of course,
shared by
right.
the one God and His Son. Also note the bottom here. You pointed to the Net Bible's comment.
Yes.
It's got a good comment here. It goes on to say the title appears only here.
Yes.
And in 9:6, where it is one of the royal titles of the coming ideal king. That's very good.
Of course, that's right.
All right,
that's
Anthony.
Exactly right. That's excellent. That comment is very, very good. But don't forget that the government will be on his shoulders. Now we're talking about the gospel of the kingdom. Christianity is the gospel of the kingdom. And since you don't hear that phrase in churches, it's alarming that people are not talking about the gospel as Jesus preached it.
All right, Anthony. Thanks a lot.